This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Thursday, March 13th, 2025. I'm Marek Mazurek. The Noble County Convention and Visitors Bureau has launched an initiative designed to bring more accessibility and inclusivity to sites throughout the county for people with disabilities. Bridging Barriers is starting with a survey of those who manage sites and attractions in Noble County, as well as one for residents and visitors to get an understanding of what the current needs are.
It's something that when a visitor comes into our community, they need to know so they can book the correct hotel, so they can have their dinner reservations at the right restaurant that fits their needs. And we realized that there was a gap of knowledge, so we wanted to start with a survey.
That's Visit Noble County CEO Grace Caswell. She said the goal is to enhance the county's community assets to ensure that people with disabilities or have special needs can be engaged. According to the U.S. Census Bureau's 2023 population data, about 5,000 people who reside in Noble County are under 65 years old and have a disability. A leading fiscal legislator has introduced a sprawling amendment to a bill that would overhaul Indiana's property tax system, the third major iteration considered this session, signaling that legislative leaders have not yet settled on their approach to what Republicans have said is a priority issue. The amendment by House and Ways Means Chair Jeff Thompson was discussed in the House but not adopted Wednesday. Thompson's proposal is the most complicated version so far and would overhaul both the state's property tax system and how municipalities collect local income taxes, which is a key revenue replacement solution Republicans have said make up for property tax cuts. In particular, certain deductions for homesteads would be phased out and then replaced, business personal property tax floors would fall, and the authorization of local income taxes would shift. Many lawmakers said Thompson's proposed changes are hard to understand, but the crux appears to be that the direct relief to taxpayers would be small, and the main focus is on decreasing projected increases. There are now 3 competing versions of taxes being considered. Lawmakers have about 6 weeks left to pass a property tax relief bill this session. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Beck's Hybrids has acquired a pair of Grow Alliance production facilities as the Indiana Seed Company continues to expand. Beck's is headquartered in the Hamilton County town of Atlanta and acquired a corn seed production facility in Howe, as well as a soybean seed production and corn drying facility in Mount Pulaski, Illinois. Terms of the deals, which closed on February 26th, were undisclosed. Beck's also assumed Grow Alliance's lease on 80,000 square feet of warehouse space in Sturgis, Michigan. Grow Alliance is based in Wisconsin and is North America's largest independently owned contract seed, corn, and soybean seed production company. A custom home builder from Bargersville and a wellness retail shop from New Albany are this year's Small Business of the Year award winners as named by the Indiana Chamber of Commerce. Each year, the Chamber accepts nominations for companies under 100 employees who combine business acumen with community leadership. For 2025, the Chamber picked Duke Homes in Bargersville, which is about 45 minutes south of Indianapolis, and the Elderberry Company in Floyd County. The Indiana Chamber said it received over 40 nominees for the awards. The Chamber says Duke Homes was founded by Mike Duke nearly 40 years ago and has since grown to 21 builders. The Chamber said, quote, "It was impressed with Duke Homes' dedication to employees, continued revenue growth, as well as stellar service to its local community." In New Albany, Jenny Watson began making a homemade elderberry syrup for her young son close to 10 years ago. Watson soon began sharing the recipe with her friends, and the Elderberry Company is now a multi-million-dollar enterprise with 16 workers and 40 wellness products. And a House measure seeking to reduce financial strain on construction contractors made additional headway in the legislature Wednesday and now heads to the Senate floor. Key elements of House Bill 1033 would establish a uniform maximum amount of retainage for certain state and local public works projects. Retainage is a portion of payment withheld from a contractor until a construction project reaches substantial or full completion. The latest version of the bill would lower the retainage amounts from 10% to 6% of completed work until the project is half done, and from 5% to 3% until the project is substantially complete. The bill's author, Representative Jim Pressel, said his aim is to improve cash flow for construction companies while work is underway. The curator of Jim Irsay's art and music collection, Larry Hall, is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC. A weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.